we're back. Indeed, welcome on back. Well, I'd say to where, but we're back from Autocraft. We're no longer on Autocraft SMP. Thank you very much once again to anyone who did watch the previous episode and everyone that joined us on that. It was really good fun. Thank you very much for having us, but wait till everything loads. But we are back on Dragonfell SMP, although you're where I left you. But these are not where... These were not here before. This is new. Cool. Well, we're going to get straight into this one as always, and kind of talk about what we're going to be doing today. So let's just recap quickly. So we're going to be making some trees, talking about the path and the sort of area upgrades that I'm about to make. We're going to insert some bridges, and we might even try and get to one build today, either the watermill or the barn, by the powers of Photoshop and after editing. I'll pop in whatever one we're going to do, but we'll talk about it as we get that far. So we'll go through about 3 or 4 different builds today on Dragonfell and keep this place progressing. And we'll take you... Oh, it's still nice. Look at Lily's base behind. We'll take our horse. We'll probably need to name it, actually. Do you guys want to name the horse? Anyone up for putting comments in the chat about what you want my horse to be called? You can let me know. That is pretty. We need to go have a little look at some point. We need to go over and have a little look and see what's going on. Well, let's head on down. This is actually a bit of inspiration because we're about to make some trees, actually. See, I like how they've used like the wood through it, and then the leaves are just subtle on top. It's making me doubt how I'm going to make my trees now. Okay, cool. Right. Off you go, tree. Enjoy the time lapse, guys. And I will take my horse down to my base and we will carry on with making some trees. That's where we're going to start today. Before I start building, I actually didn't explain. Yeah, pretty nice. Before we get going, I just thought I'd point out before I start building random trees, I have tried to place some in positions that I thought would be pretty cool. And you might notice the path is a bit different as well. I've started to make the path a little bit more random and a little bit more sort of like texturized almost on the outside edges. I don't know whether I like it or not. I did the whole island. I shouldn't have done the whole island. That is so pretty. And then obviously I was going to put the sort of stumps where I think all the trees are going to go. And there's quite a few, but I'm just not sure. And then there's probably notice as well, there's a little bit of a bridge that I've started to look at too, just for the sizes, dimensions, locations, what it could potentially look like. You might see it just over there. It's red at the moment. Let me just see if I can hop up here. Here we go. So we've got that in. So there's been a few changes that I've made just before I start building the trees. I just thought I'd show you in person before you go into a time lapse. So paths have changed slightly. Bridges are in. Tree stumps are in where I think trees are going to go, and lighting's changed. I've removed all the torches. See if I can give you an example. There you go. I've hidden a lot of frog lights, so there's no torches randomly kicking around now. So when you kind of go free camming, you won't see any torches, but it's all well lit. So there's some more stumps, and then the bridge. I only had enough wool for 2 demos just to see how it would look. I think it's going to look okay if you look at the size. Yeah, it should be fine. Right. Yes, so I'm going to dive in to do probably a couple of trees. What one will we pick? We'll pick this one. I think we'll start here because this will arch over the top. And then it'll arch into the garden. And then maybe over that way as well. Yeah, that's where we're going to start. And we'll try and see if we can give it a go. So we'll do that now. We'll do a test tree. And we'll see if it's big enough and cool enough. And we'll take it from there. Right. I'd rather explain that to you before I jumped into it, right? Cool. Oh, I'm looking up here as if you're up there. Cool. Cool. Enjoy. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Yes, we are building trees. Just a quick short sort of interruption for me just now to kind of go through the block palette. So we chose dark wood for all the combinations here, actually, from the slabs to the stairs to the gates to the fence gates and the fences, buttons, were the sort of the primary sort of block palette. The leaves, we'll kind of go over the leaves in a minute. But I did a little experimentation. You've seen on Autocraft how I started to build it. I led a bit of inspiration from that as a practice run to end up to this one. We almost got a visit from Rogue there. You might have saw them fly in the shot just a second ago. I think they realised we were time lapsing. But I'm not too sure about this tree. yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm okay with it, but yeah, I've pondered over this quite a little bit, as you'll see. Hmm. 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 I am not sure. Hmm. Walk underneath this tree. It looked quite nice. It doesn't go across the house too much. All right. I've hummed enough. Let's get the leaves done. Yeah, so we just went for it. So we went for oak leaves, just solely oak leaves, no other combinations just yet. This will be one of the first trees that we test. I don't think I'll build much more at the moment. I'll probably explain in a second. But the oak trees we ran over the top of everything, on top of the fences, the fence gates, the wood. We ran it mainly over the top and a little bit underneath. I'll probably show a wee breakdown of that hopefully in a second. Hopefully I can't remember. But from here, I think the shape is exactly what I want, and the angles and the sort of the ability to walk under it. So I think it turned out okay. I'll hand you back to tree, and I'm sure we'll go have a little wander around and have a look. Yep. I am not sure. Again, I'll continue to pose the question to you guys in the chat before I do any more. I'm only doing one. I ain't doing any more until I get a lot of opinions from people in streams or on the YouTube comments. But I mean, it's got the shape that I wanted, and it is arching, so it goes over, and it goes into the garden. Kind of goes, it loses its shape a little bit. It's almost like it loses a lot of the contours of the wood, and it's more emphasis on the leaves, and you kind of lose that maybe. I wonder if there's anything else I could do to make this more woody, like buttons maybe. Maybe have some bits poking out the top. Oh, I love your opinion on this one, guys. Any suggestions here would be great. I'm not that great, or I can do buildings and terraforming, but organic-y trees. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. No tree in the world is perfect. Okay, well, leave it be, and I'll see what you guys say in the comments, because that was a lot of leaves. Well, it wasn't 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stacks of leaves. Oh, is it maybe missing just like buttons? Like, because you can't even see the wood through here. And I only really placed the wood, as I said at the start, like just so you can kind of see the emphasis on the wood and the curves. But because you kind of don't really see the wood here, you're losing the curve. But I did deliberately keep a bit here. Is it too much? I'll let you guys decide. I'll keep it in the background. Yeah, just be sure to let me know. And we'll have a little think about it. But I'll move on to the next little practice one. We're going to practice one of the bridges now. We're going to do it just down the back. So I'll leave that to ponder over before we do any more, because there's quite a lot. I don't know if you can actually see them on the map. Can you see them on the map? Nah, not really. But they will be dotted around the map, around this island. So maybe something worth our consideration. So there's one here, and then there's one kind of there. One here. Maybe I'll let you guys decide. Let me know. Right, let's go into the next little sort of builds then. So the bridges are the next one. I don't, again, like the tree. I'm just going to wing it just right now as I'm speaking. Let's wing a design for a bridge. Stone based. 3-4 blocks wide. 1, 2, 3. 3-4 blocks wide. Small casual arch, stone over the top, slabs. Give it a try. So we'll have a test tree and a test bridge, and we'll see how we get on. Right, I need resources, and then we'll get straight into that time lapse. Still not sure. Well, I've spent a little bit more time looking at that tree since I made that video and clip, and I think it's winning me over. I think I'm happy with it. Anyways, let's move on to the bridges. Now, actually, we got a bit of steam with this. I said I was only going to do one. We ended up in this video here, just a small 2-minute clip, making 3 bridges. So the first one we're going to make here was mainly out of stone variants. So cobblestone, stone, cracked stone bricks, and a little bit of andesite as well for the slabs. Just to give it a bit of sort of like texture kind of along the top. And you can see I've made the path in the bottom right hand side as well, so it kind of flows into the base. But with the tree and the bridge now, really adds to the build. I'm really now starting to enjoy this. It's really starting to come together. But this was the Autocraft weekend, and due to time zones, there wasn't many people on. I think a lot of that happened kind of slightly later on, when I was unfortunately in my bed. But I managed to just kind of get cracked on through a lot of the bridge building. So that was bridge number 2. It only took me like 10 minutes to kind of chuck that one out pretty quickly. But the one that took the longest was this one. This is the main one that's going to stem from the island, but what I class as my starter island, and then it's going to move into more of my progressive, I don't want to call it a mega base, but it's going to be moving more into like a larger scale castle that's going to be on the top of the hillside, like is my progression from starting to my progression to having basically everything. So this is that bridge that's going to lead into that area with some more advanced houses, a little bit more modern civilization, and a castle up on top of the hill. So this bridge again, just winged it, just no practice, just went for it, and I think it turned out pretty well. But I'll hand you back to Tree, we'll do a little tour, and we'll move on to our last build. Indeed, thank you very much. So yeah, we got the bridges all built. Well, we've got 3 of them done out of the 4, which is pretty good. We'll just start just really back at the beginning of that time lapse. The one that we have here is probably the one that is the nicest one in regards to sort of blending into the scenery, that I kind of enjoyed building, because it really puts an emphasis on, if I go to free cam, the sort of the build, the tree, the bridge, the detailing. With quite a lot still to go, it's kind of coming together. But yeah, build bridge number 1, we went for 4 wide eventually. Bricks, stones, andesite, cobblestone, bricks, stairs, slabs, bit of everything, but all basic blocks you can get your hands on quite early game. So yeah, that one wasn't too bad. I'll take you over to the other one. I think I've got my horse somewhere here. Oh, there he is, he's wandered off. But I'll edit this and I'll take you across to the next one. Alright, bridge number 2. This one I'll take you over to 7's base, Laffy's, and across that sort of direction. Yeah, nice and simple bridge design again. I'll go free cam so it's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, it turned out pretty nice, just again using starter blocks, nothing crazy, just adds into the scenery a little bit. And that was sort of bridge number 2 that we had. And yeah, I'll do the job. I mean, it's very simplistic in its nature. There's nothing too detailed or massive that you kind of need to know about, but I'll go a bit slower and a bit closer so you can kind of see it. Yeah, do the job. My horse is levitating. And I'll take you over to the 3rd one in a second, but I will point out there is another bridge that's to be confirmed. The horse ears are in the way. There is one extra one over here. Not quite got to that yet. As you can tell, it's a diagonal bridge, and I'm not too strong on building diagonals, so I'm going to leave that. I didn't want to put in a time lapse because I could have been there forever trying to try build that and then not do it right. So I'm going to wait, and I might practice it. But we'll head over to the corner bridge, and we'll just talk about that one. Alright, heading over to the last bridge now. Here it is. It's obviously much larger, still 4 wide, still the same block palette, with a little bit of a sort of a different design in some ways. But this is what's going to be the one that leads over to Lily's base, the mighty oak up the coast, and potentially around to Spawn as well, which we might do in the future. All up off the horse just now. So again, remember, if you guys want to name the horse, just drop a comment into the chat and on YouTube or whatever, and I'll read it and pick up, and we'll have that named the next time. So you can see there's just a little bit more detailing on this one with the use of the walls, and then a little bit more detail here kind of in the middle. So it is much bigger than the other ones, but this is obviously going to be the main one. It leans between sort of the starter island, where, you know, the theme is starter early game blocks, nothing too crazy, and then this is what's going to lead into the future castle on top of the hill, and then other builds all the way up this coast, which is like my evolution in the game to things like deep slate, more stone and iron and farms and automation, which we're going to kind of chuck along this side here. So it's good. So that's pretty much it for now. Let me find my horse again before he disappears. And so that'll kind of do that now. I've got one last build to do, which is just over this bridge, which will be the barn. I decided I'm not going to go build the watermill today. I will save that for the next one. But for today, we'll do the food barn, which will be the collection for all of the dry fruit and veg that we have lying around. Because all the meats will go to the tavern, but all the fruit and veg will go into the food barn, which will just be over the other side of this bridge. But I'll leave you with that just now, and I'll show you with this last time lapse. We'll talk through the next build and see how it goes. All right, here we are. And I thought I'd start with a little sort of overview of the island that we've built so far from left to right, to kind of showcase that we are certainly progressing up the island quite well. Still continue to use the same starter block palette, using a lot of the basic resources anyone should be able to get early game from the oak, spruce, stone. Certainly acacia's maybe a little bit out there in terracotta, but it's just an easy block to certainly gather. But we built this one on stream. The drawing that accommodates this was hilarious. If you watch the VOD back from, I think just before the new year, it was hilarious to kind of see the drawing to what I wanted to do. But it was based upon a spruce forest building where it's the second floor access, and there's normally stairs that go up the side. We put them at the front, but that kind of works its way up into the build. So we kind of tried to wing it with the ground floor sort of primary storage for gathering the resources as storage. So that's where an imaginary tractor would go or something. The first floor, sort of up the stairs, would take you into the primary storage facility where everything is then kept. So cookies, bread, sugar, maybe stuff like that, where you would obviously bake a lot of the goods. This will be a dry food barn, not including the animal food, but mainly fruit and veg, stuff like that. This was all built on stream, live. Absolutely winged it, and it still amazes me that I can still do this and it turns out okay. So I think it turned out alright, just carrying a lot of the methods across from the other builds, styles, techniques, layout, format, and it turned out alright. But anyways, I'll leave you with this sort of pan back shot at the moment, but thank you very much as ever for watching. This has been episode number 5. My name's been Tree, and again, as ever, we appreciate any comments, likes, anything like that. It really supports the channel greatly as we try and push to 1,000 subscribers. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all in the next episode.